How's everybody doing?
Good. How are you, Coach?
Happy New Year.
You really want to know?
Yeah.
We haven't won a game this year, but we're going to be working on it. And we went 0 for December, and we haven't won a game in 2023. And so we got some work cut out for us. Not everybody makes the playoffs in this league, and we've lost a lot of points. We've lost a lot of close games. We're on a bad run right now, and we need to turn that around in a hurry. There is a sense of urgency. We've used up all our mulligans, and I'll be honest with you. We got to start finding a way to win games. There's no two ways about it. We've used up our mulligans, and as the famous Minnesota Iron Range philosopher Bob Dylan once said, when you got nothing to lose. We need to start taking our swings, and we need to go out. We need to play free. We need to take our swings. We need to put our best foot forward. We need to be the best version of ourselves. Can I think of a few more buzzwords to fire in there? And then after the game, win or lose, we've got to flush it and we've got to move on. But our backs are against the wall, and we need to make something happen, and we need to make it happen in a relatively quick hurry. Otherwise, we're going to be watching when everybody else starts those playoffs.
You mentioned that sense of urgency. Just how would you assess how that's looked the first few days back at practice for you guys?
You know what? This group has been good the whole year, and they compete hard. To be honest with you, they've looked terrific. The one thing, the landscape in college hockey, it's not cyclical anymore. With the transfer portal, there's no teams in a down cycle. If you're in a down cycle because you've lost your junior class or whatever, you just go replenish your junior class through the transfer portal. So instead of the league overall with the 10 teams, some being here, some being down here, and you hit teams on their high cycle, you hit them on their lows. It's more like this right now, and everybody's deep, everybody's old. Everybody looks the same in our league because, obviously the very high elite players are going to the premier schools, to the power schools, and but every team's deep. Every team is old. Everybody's got a good goalie, and unless you're hitting on all cylinders, we have to play our best hockey to win game in and game out. We can't. Maybe we could win some games before against people on a down cycle, with an 80 to 85% effort, and but that ain't enough anymore. That's gonna 80 to 85 hitting on 7 cylinders is gonna result in losing a lot of 1-goal games. We've got to be at our best every night in order to for the worm to turn and going from losing close games to winning close games. And we need to start winning soon, because teams, I've been doing this a long time, and teams, either you get into a habit of either finding ways to win close games, or you get into a habit of finding ways to lose close games. And we've lost a lot of close games. That needs to change, and it needs to change in a hurry.
With last week's series against Canisius being canceled, gave you guys kind of another week. Just how do you feel like that affects the team, either positively or negatively? I mean, it gives you guys a little more rest, but it also gives you a little bit more time to think about the losing streak, just some of those other things. Just what are your overall thoughts about that extra week?
I don't really know how to answer that. We could have played. We didn't play. If that, whatever. If ifs and buts were candy and nuts, I would have had a much merrier Christmas and a happier New Year, but it didn't. And so, how's that going to play out? I don't know. I don't know. It gave us more time to prepare for our trip to Arizona. Obviously, we would have liked to, from my standpoint, I would like to have gotten the games in, because we're going to have to reschedule those games. We're going to have to pack them in to a midweek between 2 weekend games, because we don't have any more weekends off. Canisius doesn't have any more weekends off. So, how did this work out? I guess we'll know at the end of the season when we look back to how we played in the games on the weekend, and how we played in those makeup scenario wherever that's going to be placed somewhere in the schedule.
How serious is Guy's injury, and who's going to be the next man in the clubhouse for you guys?
Well, right, that's a good question. You want to watch practice? You can help me make a decision. Right now, they're doing everything they can. We thought that having guys recovering for a month would during Christmas would be enough. It isn't. It's like a bursitis, a bursa sac type thing, and every time he puts his skate on, he gets back to ground zero in regards to the problem and the pain. So they're trying some different things with antibiotics and steroids and that type of thing. And he started on a program this morning. Well, he's coming to Arizona, but he's not going to be bringing his gear. So we're going to give him a week for that medication to get in and start. And hopefully something stimulates some healing. Obviously, at the end of the year, they can take that bursa sac out. They could do it now, but then it's 6 weeks recovery, and then even at that, they got to wait for the scar to heal. By that time, it might be too late. So they're working at doing other things to try to stimulate the healing. But your guess is as good as mine. It's in God's hands. And after that, we've got Balboa, and we've got Park, we've got junior and a senior that have been around a long time. They're going to get an opportunity to show what they have. They haven't had much of an opportunity in the past, and that opportunity is there. I brought him in yesterday. I said, you better be ready to go. The ball's in your hands right now. We're going to be watching, and whoever plays the best in practice is going to be our goaltender against Boston University on Friday. This is the opportunity I hope that you've been waiting for and working towards, and I hope you're excited about it, because it's here, it's prime time, and you're going to jump in at a time where your team and your teammates really need you. From a competitor standpoint, if I'm one of them, I'm pretty excited. Yeah. I'm chomping at the bit.
For sure. Going this weekend to play games against two very good hockey teams in non-conference, just what would you consider a successful weekend before this gauntlet of conference play arrives?
Obviously, we need to find ways. We need to find ways to win. To say we're going to go in and play a ranked team like Boston University and you play well and lose, but you played well. There are no moral victories for us anymore. We've got to find a way to start winning. And obviously, we've got our hands full. We're going to go in there. We're going to play some high-level competition. And worst case scenario, going in, playing that type of competition, coming back. Although there isn't a major drop-off really in college hockey, they're just, hey, some teams are better because they've got a few more elite players than other teams. There's not a huge drop-off, but I expect fully that we're going to go in there and we're going to compete well. The following weekend, when we go to Holy Cross, we're going to go there. We haven't had much luck there in recent years, but we're going to go there and compete well. But the bottom line is again, no moral victories. Oh yeah, we gave it the good old college try. No. We got to find a way to get it done. No more mulligans. We got to find a way to start winning, and that starts next Friday against Boston University.
Boston scores a lot. Would you, I guess without giving away too much of your strategy, would you consider going toward more of a trap style game, or is that just not the way that you guys play?
We're going to play the way we play, and yeah, they score a lot, but they beat Harvard the other day 2-1 in overtime. That ain't a high scoring game. So, to be honest with you, we don't spend a lot of time worrying about our opponent. Yeah, we look at who their top guys are for our line matchups, those types of things. We watch their forechecking tendencies, their special teams, power play and penalty, kill. We got to, there's certain things but in our preparation, 80% of our preparation is on us going out and doing what we do, playing our game, and then 15 to 20% on the opposition and certain tendencies that they may have, elite players individually, special teams, how they attack, and that's about it. Then it's about us going out and doing what we do.
Final one for me. In a mythological matchup, between a falcon and a terrier, who wins and why?
In a mythical, like there's one.
Mythological.
Okay, in a mythological matchups. So are you telling me like on paper, like in Las Vegas, who's favored? The Mighty Terriers are favored. Are you kidding me? But that's great. That's good. We Air Force teams typically and traditionally always seem to do a little bit better. Not to say that they don't ever win when they're the favorites, but historically, it's never a bad thing for the Falcons to be the underdog going into a game.
Have you ever had a team have this much time between games?
Not that I can recall. We've had big breaks before, but then to have that snowstorm in Buffalo hit and them not being able to get here. I mean, we played the 2nd and 3rd of December, and today is the 2nd of January. So, it's been a full month. It's been a long time. It's been a long wait. It would have been a lot better time had we won those 2 games on December 2nd and 3rd. I've had to sit with those in my craw for the last month, and so I'm ready to get on a plane, get down there, and take some swings at somebody else, and either put the past behind me or create a new problem. One of the two. Yeah.
And where do things stand with the makeup? I assume that has to be made up, that series, right? Because it's conference. So, and they have to come here. So is it going to be like a Monday, Tuesday? Have they indicated how that will work?
We have proposed a Monday, Tuesday. And there's several weekends that possibly can happen. They're having a conference call tomorrow to talk about it. The commissioner and the associate athletic director at Canisius and our associate athletic director in charge of hockey, George Nelson. So I would assume we're going to know something tomorrow afternoon.
So at some point you could have 6 games in an 8-day span?
We're going to have, if it goes as planned, we're going to have 4 games in 5 days. We're going to have 4, but so is our opponent. No, it's not a perfect scenario. And you could move to a Tuesday, Wednesday, but then you're playing against somebody else on Friday and Saturday. So you're playing 4 games in 5 days on the backside, or you're playing 4 games in 5 days on the front side. Like, pick your poison. Unless you can find a way to get 8 days in a week. You got that?
I don't have that. Unless you do a doubleheader.
Yeah. The Beatles, didn't they do that? Something? Huh? Yeah. Dayton, yeah. Bob Dylan, the Beatles. You guys ever heard of them? Holy, come on.
Given the past couple years, you guys have gotten hot late in the year, could that somehow work to your favor that you play all these games when you guys are playing your best hockey?
Now that's a good question. The last one was awful, but that was a really that's a really good question, and you're right on, and it's something we talked about. We got our hands full. No more mulligans. Like, if we're going to make the playoffs, we're going to have to earn it, and we're going to have to win our way into the playoffs, because right now we got far from a winning record. And our thoughts are right now, we are in the playoffs for all intents and purposes. We are in the playoffs right now. Now we got these games this weekend that don't really have factor into that, but the momentum coming out of the games this weekend matter. When we get back into league play, we need to start winning games. We are, for all intents and purposes, we are going in, and every game mentally we're going to go into it like it's an elimination game. And if we go into every game like it's an elimination, we have to. We have to go in. But with that sense of urgency, we have to go into those games. If we do succeed and we do make the playoffs, you're right. We will be a battle-hardened team at that point in time, and we're going to go into a playoff, go into an elimination series type thing, and it shouldn't give us more than a few butterflies, because we will have been in that situation for the previous month and a half to 2 months.